guys, I'm Albright with AVNation at InfoComm 2025 with my buddy Paul Hales from Theory. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
I am well. We're in you guys' demo room, which I have said both publicly and privately is one of my favorite demos to listen to. You guys are doing something new this year, though. You've got sound reinforcement speakers.
Right.
Now, typically, when I was first introduced to you guys, it was some of the highest end home theater speakers, right?
Right.
Over the last 5 years, you guys really have evolved and you're pushing your way into the commercial space.
That's right.
So, if I say sound reinforcement speakers, first and foremost, what does that mean?
Okay, so when we use that phrase, we use typically the kind of speakers that be used for live performances, right?
Okay.
So maybe something small like a jazz club or a small live entertainment space like a House of Blues or something,
Okay.
up to a Broadway theater or performing arts center or something like that. We're not going to go after the Eras Tour 2026 or anything yet. So we are introducing 8 new models. We kind of introduced Theory to the folks at InfoComm 2 years ago.
Yep.
With small format stuff for restaurants, bars, hotels, commercial spaces. Now we're pushing into the larger venues here at InfoComm 2025.
So if I'm looking at, if I'm coming to this demo or I'm watching this after the show, I'm not looking, like you said, for a stadium sound. It
Right.
is more, but it is performance, right?
It is, yes. It's for live sound, and it's got the Theory sound quality. So if you care about the sort of the reproduction quality of it, and then it's also got the theme that we have where we have kind of smaller formats that do more, they give you more sound for their size,
Okay.
and they're more sort of universal. So the models have portable features and installed features into one product. So we don't have like a portable series and an install series. We keep it simple. You use the same speaker in all the applications.
You said something important there, though, and that's the reproduction of the sound,
Right.
right? How is that different in a live environment, though?
Oh, it's very different. Well, I mean, let me give you 2 answers.
Yeah.
One, I have this phrase, and Aaron oftentimes repeats it, which is a good speaker is a good speaker is a good speaker,
Yeah.
right? What differentiates them by application is mostly just bandwidth and output capability or dynamic range, right? But what makes a speaker sound good is the same.
Okay.
Now that I don't know that the rest of the industry thinks that way, but that's how Theory does it. And so if you like the Theory sound we get out of the small speakers, we get the exact same sound out of the larger ones.
Got it.
And so then, at the end of the day, the final sound is determined by the front of house guy, right? So he can screw it up, but if he leaves it alone, right? If he leaves it alone, keeps his hand off the compression and keeps his hand off the EQ, he'll get very dynamic, lively, clean, clear sound. You don't have to turn it up as loud for it to be satisfying. And that's kind of what we're doing. So what happened was when we introduced these smaller format models, the consultants, the theme park engineers, the integrators gravitated to the small formatted stuff. They heard the pro audio technology, bigger products at our office. You've been to our office a couple times. They said, wait a minute, can we get that too? And so we're responding to that request, basically.
Okay. All right. You're also showing off some new loudspeaker controllers.
That's right.
You can correct me and tell me that I'm wrong, but when I first started learning about you guys, I was like, well, that's an amplifier. Mm-hmm. And you corrected me like, no, that's a loudspeaker controller. First of all, what is the difference?
Okay, so what it is physically is you can think of it as a multi-channel amplifier that has a bunch of DSP inside.
Yes,
okay?
that's exactly what.
That's what it is. We call it a loudspeaker controller because you have to have that processing inside the amp to make the speakers work correctly. So you can't just buy a Theory speaker connected to a third-party amplifier. You have to buy our matching loudspeaker controllers because all the processing is proprietary for the speakers.
All right, and so what is the new versions?
So 4 new models, all 1U, based on PowerSoft technology. So we've partnered in the past with Pascal. Now we're partnering with PowerSoft, and we're leveraging all of the technology that makes the PowerSoft amp so great.
All right. Very cool. Paul, somebody wants to find out more about Theory. How do they do that?
They can find us in booth 5167, right? And or theoryprofessional.com.
All right, very good. Paul Hales from Theory. For us, for AVNation, go by our website, avnation.tv. That's avnation.tv. Find more videos from the show floor of InfoComm 2025. All that and more at avnation.tv. That's avnation.tv.